violence by a large population is not because this people is more violent than any other. It's an alarm, it's a sign, it's a signal that something is wrong in the treatment of this population.
Where is the outcry? Where is the voice of the king? Where is the voice of the people?
Exploitation and social degradation. All of them from the same enemy.
It is useless and futile for us to continue talking peace and non-violence against the government whose reply is only savage attack on an unarmed defenseless people.
This year will be a year of violence. This year is the keynote is violence and the slogan is attack. I am minded of young David. I am minded of young David, the shepherd boy, who stood up before the great warrior of the Philistines. Young David having all the courage. There must be someone somewhere. There's got to be somebody somewhere. Got to be somebody somewhere that cares. Young David took that one small stone and in the faith of his God and slayed the giant.
A Pathé dispatch shows the scene in Jerusalem as Jewish and Arab mobs clashed in the center of the city. It remains to be seen whether a threatened full-scale war will materialize.
جنود يعتلون منازل والقناصة لا يتورعون عن إطلاق النار على كل شيء يمر أمامهم بمن فيهم الصحفيين.
As a journalist, the more you look into the issue of Israel and Palestine, the more you sense that something is not quite right. The images and the narration are out of sync, a little like a foreign film that has been awkwardly dubbed.
بيوت مهدمة وطرق مدمرة وسيارات لم يعد يظهر منها إلا هياكلها، أما الطعام والدواء فوجوده نادرا.
As you look into it for yourself, you begin to suspect that there is something extremely odd going on. The more you look into it, the more you begin to feel it is not just odd, it is deeply disturbing. Our media portray Mideast violence as though it's an inherent part of the culture and region, implying that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is an ancient problem with little hope of solution.
دمار يخلفه الجيش الإسرائيلي في كل شبر من الضفة الغربية. مدينة السلام المحاصرة لا زالت ترفع غصن الزيتون، وكنيسة المهد تقصف بالآليات العسكرية. 200 مواطن محاصرون داخل الكنيسة دون طعام أو دواء.
These misperceptions come from the fact that we're only hearing a fraction of the story. You are about to witness images and testimony largely hidden from mainstream America.
This place draws many people, whether they're Jewish, Muslim, or Christian. This is a holy place to significant numbers of us in the world. We all have an interest in sort of seeing what is this land and what's the situation here. And once you come, if you open your eyes at all, you can't miss the problems and the patterns that are here.
I think it's hard to understand what occupation is. I think it's a foreign concept for many Americans, what it's like to live under military occupation.
The definition of an occupation is when a foreign army occupies your land physically and controls your life.
In addition, Palestinians under occupation, and this is why there's so much struggle against the occupation, they're not citizens, they don't have rights, they don't have civil rights. They're under a military rule.
This is a particular kind of occupation that's both military and settler occupation.
Settlements are areas of Palestinian land which are selected, and whatever is there, whether it's roads or whether it's villages or homes, they are bulldozed, and then a new town is built on the hilltop.
One very good friend is Rodina Jabber, and she and her husband Atta have land in a rural valley near here called the Ba'a. And it's pretty clear these settlements want this land. It's some of the best agricultural land around here. So that valley has had repeated home demolitions. Rodina herself has lived through 2 home demolitions. They're living now in their 3rd house.
اجت الجرافة طبعا مع الجيش اللي هجم علي على الخيمة انا التخمت تهدوا ما تهدوا بنتقاتل انا وياهم. انا اصيح عمر ما يصير صاروا يضربوني في راسي وكان لي بوكلة وشعر هيك مسكني من شعري ومنكت شعري. لما حطوا بكيت الجرافة على البيت هيك تذكرت انه ابني نايم في البيت. هجمت على البيت بدي اطوله احمله. أنا بركض على البيت والجيش بيسحب فيي من ظهري من ورا وبضرب فيي في ظهري وشلاليط في إجري وفي راسي ومسك شعري من البوكلة وخلع شعري. أنا جريت الجندي ودفعته على الأرض وواحد منهم هيك مدقرين فيه كلهم. أنا دبيت الجندي ودخلت على الولد حملته بين إيدي هيك طلعت.
Rodina and her children were once again homeless and had to endure living in a tent for many months. Her husband Atta was even imprisoned for protesting the destruction of their home.
قاعدين أنا وياهم قاعدة بطبخ لهم على الحطب وعلى النار وقاعدة بطبخ لهم. رابطة حبلة في التينة خيط حبلة رابطها في عرق التينة من فوق وبتلف على رقبتها وحاطة هيك بتشرب في حالها. يما شو بتساوي شو هذا؟ قال خلص يعني احنا بدنا نضل قاعدين في الشمس تحت التينة بدناش نعيش بدنا نموتها. فكيتها يعني ساعتها كان الوضع مأساوي بشكل يعني تصور قديش ام قاعدة من اولادها بنتحروا قدامها. يعني حالتهم النفسية لا تحت الصفر. في الليل حتى الليل والله ما بنناموا بالليل. طول الليل والله ما بنناموا. يما شوفي مين يما شوفي الجيش يعني قبل 3 أيام أجانا الجيش، هذا تصوت من شقة وهذا يصرخ من شقة وهذا حملته، والجيش بقول هاتي هويتك، هاتي الهوية، ومن دون ضوء. بقول لهم ما تخافوش، بسكت فيهم، بمسكهم بعبطهم، أنا بكون خايفة أكثر منهم. شو بدنا نسوي؟
Here you have Palestinians that have no input whatsoever in the policies that are made. They're not on the city council. They're not in any of the decision-making bodies in the West Bank or Gaza. They're certainly not in the government. The policies are made in order to ensure Israeli control. So the law is designed in a way, in a very cynical way, to prevent Palestinians from building and to keep them confined in little islands, so that most of the land of the occupied territories is free for Israeli settlement.
These are armed settlements, about 190 of them spread all over the West Bank.
Settlements are strategically built colonies of Israel that are connected by a network of roads which separate each Palestinian community from the next and confine their ability to expand. They are often constructed around the best farmland and water resources.
They are surrounded by barbed wire. They are armed inside. Settler residents are required to be armed by the Israeli military. And they are defended from the outside by the Israeli military itself.
The purpose of these settlements today, number one, is to continue the Israeli control and domination of the occupied territories.
And the bottom line in all of this is to make Palestinians leave the country. It's a very hard term, I know, but in a sense it's a kind of ethnic cleansing.
The Israeli government and the Israeli army is not dealing with people as equal. I mean, I think that that's the main problem, that Palestinians are not considered, are not perceived as equals to Israelis.
There is no specific discrimination against Palestinian Christians as opposed to Palestinian Muslims. It's a shared suffering.
Christians see them themselves very much a part of the Palestinian national movement. They identify with the Palestinian people as being their people.
Palestinian Christians have difficulty getting to churches on Sunday morning if they wanted to come to Jerusalem because they don't have that permission or that legal right, according to the Israeli government, to come to Jerusalem for worship.
This I picked up in a home of a wonderful Christian family in Beit Jala. And this is the kind of armor-piercing weaponry that's being used against civilians, innocent civilians.
It's not easy to tell everything, you know. It's easy to say some words, but you can't tell how they feel. As everybody, I want my children to be happy, to live their right life as children. We just think about one thing. Where can I put my children while they are shooting? They didn't want to go to school because they are scared to come back and there is no house. They doesn't want to go without me and the father because they think that they will lose us.